we'll just wait, see if get some viewers come in, and we'll
Still
definitely
says
get started.
offline hosting Wicked.
It should. I just hit it, so it may take a second.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, there it goes.
Gotcha. Okay. There we go.
Yep, it is running now. Yeah, what is it? I recently got the like Microsoft Office, like the full thing. So I also have Publisher. So
Ah.
it was very. It'd be very difficult to try and put all of the stuff on a PowerPoint.
Mhm.
And I found Publisher to be easier to use than PowerPoint itself. So
Oh, really?
yeah, yeah, I found it a lot easier actually.
To each their own.
Yeah, well, I mean, I use PowerPoint on a regular basis for classes here, but um, I ended up using what is it, Publisher for this, because I know you can export with PowerPoint, but I don't know. I just felt like the creation process was a little bit easier in Publisher. So
Gotcha.
anywho, turn on a little music here to play in the background. So yeah, no, been for viewers viewing now, yeah, if it's you guys and me, I guess. uh, been living in Japan now for 9 years. It was 9 years in August, and did 4 years of Japanese at university before coming, and I've had 9 years of in-country experience, and not only that, I've never lived in a big city, unless you consider Sendai, which Sendai is kind of a big city, but not by Japanese standards. I snap. Wakarimasen. So, I've been teaching English here for God knows how long, and I thought maybe I could teach basic Japanese. I wouldn't say that I'm a pro, but I I definitely know my way around the basics. Doing great, Jake. How you doing? All right, it is 8:30, so let's get started here. All right. So here we are going to start with Japanese, our Japanese class here, and first thing is Japanese. It is Nihongo. So, things that you are going to need for today are going to be something to draw on, whether it be paper or tablet, doesn't matter, and something to draw with pen, pencil, crayon, blood of your enemy, it doesn't really matter. You need something to draw with. Oh, Jake just got back from the dentist a few hours ago. Cool, cool, man. Hope you're doing okay. All right, so we're going to talk about phonetics. And the most important part of the phonetics in Japanese that you have to know is what is it? The vowels. So we're going to go over vowels more than anything, because the vowel system in Japanese is very different from English. There's a little bit of crossover, but not a lot.
I gotta tell you before you hire me. I don't work cheap.
Oh, geez, I just realized my display capture was supposed to be way down here. That's my bad, guys. Hold on just a second here. I think it'd be my first day streaming. There we go. Now we got the alert box. What's going on, Jeremy Sensei? There we go. Fantastic. Now we can get started here. What's worse? I need to get used to new school. Oh, okay. Cool. So with Japanese phonetics here, we're going to start with our English vowels. So you guys obviously know English vowels, which are A, E, I, O, and U. And I'm basically not using like the traditional, what is it, the IPA, the International Phonetic Alphabet, to use this because there's not a lot of people that know that. Awesome, Jeremy. So I'm going to use what's the most associated vowel sounds that we have for these sounds in English to help people along. So A, E, I, O, U are English vowels. But what about Japanese? What do you guys think Japanese vowels? What kind of language has the closest what is it? The closest equatable sound to?
I don't quite understand
English,
the question.
but-
But yeah, English
Okay.
is pretty close. But
So if you were to write these letters here, you can write these letters down in Japan, and most people will understand what they mean, like 95%. But their pronunciation of the same letter, like for the letter A, may not be A. For E, it may not be E.
right.
For I, it may not be I sound, or O or U. What do you think that they use for their sounds for their letters? So we'll start with the letter A.
I mean, so my background is I've got a few years into this, so I already know.
Okay, so I'll ask, what is it? I'm nice. I'm nice?
Yep, you got that right. Oh, Ellie. It's A, right?
Very good. How about the next one?
E.
So
Or
E.
E. I forget which way it is.
Okay, and what about the third one, the letter I?
Okay, so E was supposed to be E.
Mm-hmm.
I is E. O is O. A and U is U, right?
Very close.
E, U, A, O.
Very good. They follow a Latin vowel system, basically.
Oh, is that what that is? All right.
Yep, it's basically Latin vowels. So the actual term that they use for the vowels themselves, or the letters that they use, is Romaji. Roma meaning from Rome.
Yeah, Jake's got that in the chat too now.
Yep.
Yeah, I, U, A, O. It goes in that order normally on the both alphabets, right?
Exactly. So it's a good thing to actually learn A, I, U, A, O like this for Japanese vowels, because everything is going to be in like A, I, U, A, O, Kaki, Kuke, Ko, Sashi, Suse, So, like that.
Dang, got me on the next panel. I need to not skip ahead. I'm already like consciously being like, don't get ahead of him. Don't get ahead of him.
Oh no, it's okay. It's okay. So here is your A, I, U, A, O in Japanese vowels. So this is just the simple character associated with that sound. And let me turn down that music. It's a little loud.
I had your stream so low I didn't even notice it.
That's getting a little... I want a little music, just not a lot. All right, so, hey, what's going on, dude, Sony? All right, so let's move on here. So there are 3 writing systems that Japan uses. The first one being hiragana, which is kind of these, looks like more wavy loops and curves and whatnot. And then the next after that is going to be katakana, which is more straight-lined and whatnot. Now, the funny thing about both of these is that traditionally in Japan, hiragana was used for when writing like letters and whatnot. It was what women would use to write letters. So it was, in essence, a effeminate alphabet, whereas katakana was used as a masculine alphabet. So if men were writing a letter, they'd be using katakana. If women were writing a letter, they'd be using hiragana.
Interesting.
And that's from traditional Japan. In the modern age now, hiragana is used for basically anything that you're going to be using with Japanese that is like from Japan Japanese, like words and grammar structure. And when it comes to foreign words, borrowed words, or things that are outside the traditional language of Japan, they're going to be using katakana. So like ice cream, aisukrimu, would be in katakana. But like, let's just say you're going to have like futon, like your the bed that you sleep on, would be in hiragana. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it's
Yeah.
important to learn both. And the one thing that I will say about this is that if you're trying to do language study and you're trying to learn the language and learn like all like to be able to speak and write and everything, hiragana is definitely something you need to know more than anything. Katakana you can just kind of skip off of it. But if you are a traveling person and you're trying to travel and go places inside Japan and you want to go to a restaurant, you want to go to things, katakana is the thing that I would recommend that you know more than anything. And the reason being is that most of the katakana words are going to be either in another foreign language, but mostly in English. So if you go to a restaurant, it might say restaurant across the top of it. And then you can associate the sounds from katakana to an English word. Same thing with like ice cream. But if you go there and you only know hiragana, most words are not going to be the English like phonetic structure of the word is not going to be in hiragana. It'll only be in katakana. So if you have no language understanding of Japanese whatsoever, learn katakana before you go. If you're doing language study like we're doing right now, it's best to know hiragana over katakana.
Interesting.
So, and the reason is because hiragana is associated with Japanese words. If your vocabulary isn't built up far enough, it's not going to help you. You're just going to know what the individual phonetic sound of each thing that they're using there. Granted, you might see like sushi, or you might see something, but I mean, if you see like shichiju shichiginko,
Right. So you'll be like you could be able to read the word, but if you don't know what the word means, then it's worthless.
it basically, and the majority of katakana is used for foreign words, so therefore
Right.
it would be more of an asset to you than hiragana. So
Got it.
there's hiragana and katakana, and then there's the beast that is kanji, and that kanji is actually kanji in kanji.
Jeez, that's funny.
That's exactly right, Snappy. The difference between knowing what the word is and knowing what the word means. Very good. So kanji is a whole different animal. Basically, in around, I can't remember if it's the 6th or 7th century, Japan borrowed Chinese characters. And they basically took those Chinese characters, and for the longest time, all writings were only in characters, but there was no hiragana or katakana or anything with it whatsoever. And then later on, hiragana and katakana were added in. So kanji is a completely different beast, and most of it is traditional writing style. There is no simplified use of kanji, in Japan at least. Although there are... I don't want to say that there's simplified kanji. There is the old kanji, then there's the old kanji, and then there's simplified kanji, and they're in the old kanji and not the old kanji.
Gotcha. Now here's an interesting question.
All right,
Probably
shoot.
a little bit of a tangent, but so I know traditionally on letters and stuff, Japanese written from top to bottom, left to right,
Yes.
or right to left, right?
Right.
Right. So on a menu, would it still be like that?
Depends on the restaurant. So, like, if you
Okay.
went to a sushi restaurant, most likely it's going to be top to bottom, left to or right to left. But if you're going to go to like a different sit-down restaurant that would have a Japanese menu, it's definitely going to be vertical and right to left, and then down.
Gotcha. So okay, so is it ever horizontal right to left, or is it always horizontal left to right when
It's
you're reading
always
it?
horizontal left to right, and it's
Left to right.
always
Okay.
right to left when vertical.
Gotcha. All right. Cool. That was the tangent. Because
That's
when I looked at the alphabet, I'm like, why does this look so off to me? And it's because it was flipped with the way I learned it. But it's
exactly
more in the traditional way because you would start on the right and to the left.
right, and you would work your way down. So let's
Yeah.
go and move on to the next slide here. So here's hiragana. Hiragana is what we're going to be working on today more than anything. So with this one here, it's really easy. I don't know if you can see the really tiny letters there, but you have your a, I, U, A, O that we did before, and then you have ka, ki, ku, ke, ko, sa, shi, su, se, so, ta, and here's the funny thing. So you have ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. Simple, right? But the next one here you have sa, and then after that it's not si, but she. Sa, shi, su, se, so. And the next one is even more difficult because it's ta, chi, tsu, 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 te, to. So su, so like this su here, like that, and this tsu are two different sounds.
Right.
So you have su and then tsu.
To almost like a clicking of your teeth.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Trying to remember how do I.
Now I'm from Hawaii, and anytime anyone tries to read a Hawaiian word, it's usually like terrible. But
Right.
normally the rule of thumb is always pronounce all the syllables in front of each vowel.
Right. So let me see. Hold on just a second here. There we go. Okay. So on this list here of different things, you have she is going to be not si. You're going to have su and tsu, which are going to be different. And then you have chi. And then after that, the only really quote unquote weird one is going to be this one here. And I'll show you because you have na, ni, nu, ne, no, which is this line right here. And then on the next
Right.
line, you have ha, he, and this one is fu. But it's not fu in the sense where you put your teeth over the top of your lip. You actually open your mouth and you make an F sound. Hu. So you push your lips together, but you do not put your teeth over your lip to make the F sound. So it's a little strange, but it's ha, he, fu, he, ho. Then you have ma, mi, mu, me, mo, which is this one here. And then ya, you, yo. There is no ye and there is no ye. Then there's da, di, do, de, do. And then the last one here, this one here, these are kind of like, I don't want to call them auxiliaries, but they're special because they don't have their own list. The first one there is wa. The second one after that is o, but this is a special o. This one is a grammatical marker o, so it's special. And then the last one here is which is just like an N sound.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to go over this with me here, we have on the first one here, this is a, I, U, A, O. Do you want to say that for me, both of you?
E-U-A-O.
E-U-A-O.
And then this one is ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. And it's going in order. So like this line is the A line, the E line, the U line, the A line, and the O line. So you have ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. Okay?
Ka, ki, ku, ke, ko.
Very good.
Kaki, kukeko.
These ones are the easier ones here. So the next one here is sa. So we're on this one here. I'm going to erase these real quick here, and we'll start over. So we will come here like this and do sa, she, su, se, so. Go ahead and give it a try.
Shi, su, se, so.
Very good. So the
Sashi, suseso. Sorry,
right.
go ahead.
yep.
I'm waiting for. I'm trying not to talk over each other. So
Oh, not a problem. So the main thing is that like phonetically speaking, English has more. What is it? I want to say vowels and consonants than Japanese, but there are a few things that don't cross over very well when learning them. So in the next one, you'll probably find that one out. So you have in the next list here, you have ta, chi, tsu te to. Go ahead.
Tachitsuteto.
Very good.
Tachitsuteto.
Fantastic. So the next ones are really easy. It's nani nu ne no.
Nani nu ne no.
Nani no ne no.
Okay? And the next one here is ha hi fu he ho.
Ha hi fu he ho.
Okay?
Ha hi fu he ho.
Very good. And the next one is mami mu me mo.
Mami mu me mo.
Mami mu me mo.
And then you have ya you yo.
Ya yu yo.
Ya yu yo.
And the next one here is da di do de do.
Ra ri ru re ro.
Ra di ru de ro.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a little bit of a pointer of how to pronounce this because it's a little bit different because some people think it's ra and other people think it's la, and it's actually a mix between the two. And I'll be able to teach you exactly how to do it, okay? So when you make the la sound, your tongue touches the space behind your teeth when you make the la sound. When you make the ra sound, your tongue kind of cups and goes backwards. What you need to do is the part of your gums that are just above your teeth, you need to push your tongue against there and say da, di, do, de, do. And then you'll make the correct sound. So instead of pushing the back of your teeth, push the top part of that your gums up there.
Yeah. Ra di ru de ro.
Fantastic.
Ra ri ru re ro. Well, that feels weird.
Oh, and it definitely will feel weird. But the main thing is that you just want to make sure that your tongue is touching that, and you're making you're touching that part and making the L sound, like you would the L sound. Da, di, do, de, do. So next after that is going to be wa, o, and That's the last thing here.
Wa o
Fantastic.
Wa wo.
Fantastic. All right. So let's move on to the next thing here. All right. In today's lessons, we're going to be drawing these characters right here. So we're going to switch out, and I'm going to open up. What is this here? This is Clip Art Studio. And we are going to start with So we're going to start up here with this one right there. So go ahead and get out your piece of paper, and if anybody else wants to join us in drawing these, I will show you how to draw first. First one is you want to draw... so the majority of Japanese letters, and pretty much almost every single one, is going to be you start at the top, left corner, and work your way down and right. So because I'm going to draw it really quickly, but then I'll draw it in steps. Like that. So we're going to start here with this line right there, because it's the furthest left. Then we're going to come this line here, and then we're going to make the loop with that line there. So let me back this up here. So you start with your first line across. Oh, let me switch back over to black real quick here. Make it a little easier to see. So start with your first line, just like that.
Oh my gosh, my odds have always sucked.
Oh, trust me, mine were utterly horrible. My teacher had me sit after class and tried to give me pointers on how to make it better.
It's that circle on the bottom. I just don't know where to put it half the time.
All right, so the next one here is a line down. So you're just going to bring your line down, and you want to make it an arc with it. So you want to make sure that you're making a good arc with it. Like that. All right. So
any hints for the circle?
Okay, so all right, here's a good hint for the circle. Where to start is you see this point on this line right here like that. You're going to want to start
Like where they meet?
Yep, you're going to want to start in the center, kind of like this,
Mhm.
and about, what is it, halfway down, like that. And then you're going to want to start here. Oh, there we go. Going to want to start here. And you want to make sure that you get it. You don't go over the top
Okay.
of the line there. So
Right.
you want to get it basically in between those right there, just like that.
All right. So don't be afraid to go past the other side with the circle, though.
Right. And the one thing is most Japanese people are less critical about hiragana and katakana than they are with kanji. Kanji, everyone's really super critical with. So one
Because it's
line
almost
here.
like the artwork or the
Right.
art form of a language, right?
Right. So you have that there like that. So you see how my line here was a little bit longer? That's okay.
Right. No, immediately making the circle bigger on the left side makes them look much better.
Yep. So that's going to be your ah. All right. And we're going to look over at the next one here. So our next one here is going to be E. Super easy. So let's go back over here.
And then left corner, start. So you go left side, left one, right side.
Yep. So we start here. You come down at an angle and you make a little flick. Just like that. And then the next one comes in just
Usually
like that.
a little smaller, right?
Yep, it's a little smaller. Now the main thing is to remember is that you want to make sure that you're not getting this kind of vertically done where it's like this. It's going to be okay if you do it like this, but it's better to try and get it as straight
Normally
up and
try to
down.
curve it in to make it look like a circle, right?
Right. If you do something like this, it's not going to look right. You want to make sure that it's coming down here, flick up, and just like that for E. Okay. So this one's an easier one to do. So let's go see. We have U next. Here we go. So U is a line down just like that. And then
You
another
start with the top
loop.
part, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Start with the top marker, and then you move all your way all the way around like that. And it should look something like that. Now, you can have it touch. You can not have it touch. It's okay. So you can do it like this and also do that as well. And that's completely okay. There's many different fonts for Japanese, and like I was saying before, when it comes to hiragana and katakana, getting it close enough is good enough.
That's good.
If you were to write something like this here, and do like that, they would be able to understand that is U. All right, so we've done.
I'm like
U.
rapid firing them, and some of them are getting bad. Jeez.
So next we're going to work on A, and A can be a little fun. It's kind of like a cursive H, with a little line on top.
Oh, it totally is.
So.
It definitely feels the best to write so far.
Right. So you have that one there, and what you're going to do here is you're going to take and come up and then down and then do that. And that's A. A lot of times you'll have a line that comes across like that. That'll be a very common way to draw this. It's like that.
Yeah.
And that'll be A.
Start with sharp turn into a flowing motion.
Pretty
kinda.
much. Yep. So you could, like I said before, as long as you get a line in and an H like that, it can look horrible. It could look something like this here, and most people will understand that is A.
Once we finish O, I'm sending you a picture to make you judge me.
All right. So next after this, we're going to be working on O. We got another loop-de-loop. Okay.
This one's a little easier if I remember.
Yep, it is. So we're going to make a line across. Then you're going to bring it down and loop like this. And I made mine super big for no reason at all.
So So I have a question. Why do you start with the line across on this one?
Because it's the furthest left. It's the
But on ah, you start the other way, right?
No, on ah you do the same. So
You still do the same? Okay.
yeah, like this was ah before. And then this is O.
Gotcha.
And don't forget the little mark here that goes above that. I always forgot that in Japanese class, and it always cost me my grades.
So does the kind of curvy bit, does it need to sort of stay under the hat, or does it matter if it's a bit wider?
Well, here's the thing.
Oh,
Like,
mine-
if you wrote this, they'd know what it means. It looks a little strange, but they'd know it's O. But what you want to do is you want to make sure that where you start your line, you want to make sure that right here kind of lines up.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're trying to draw it like pretty, that'd be the way. If it sticks out over here like this, that's okay.
Okay.
But you
now
want
I have a couple where the line doesn't curly Q quite as well. Is that not acceptable?
Why don't you just send it to me real quick and I'll take a look at it.
This is O, isn't it? All right, cool. 1 second. Let me get like 3 more reps in.
Okay. No problem. So I'll draw
Where
it
are you,
again.
phone?
So you have O here, just or that's ah. Trust me, I always screw those up.
They're way too. There's a lot that like in most lines of alphabet, there are 2 that are very similar.
Mm-hmm.
Where am I going? Where's my picture thing? All right, let's just open Discord because I know where it is with that button.
Did you send it to me here?
Just a second. Just about to.
Okay, no problem. All right, so we'll move on to the next one here. I'm trying to keep with time here. We're going to move on to ka. Now, ka is going to be a fun one. All right, so let's move over to our drawing section here. So ka is going to start up here at the very top and come down. And then you're going to come over here like this and make a little hook. And then you got to put another mark across the top, just like that. So let's try it again here. So you're going to come down with your line. You can,
Too sharp.
like this, bring it across the top with a hook. And usually that hook there like that, you're going to want it to come down and then flick up just like that. And if you're using a mechanical pencil, it makes it a lot easier to see that little mark.
What am I? I'm doing the sharp one out of like pure, what's it called? Like muscle memory, and it's wrong because it's supposed to be curved on once you go for the side, right?
Right. So that's going to be your ka that we are learning up there. And like I said, if the tail is a little long or it's a little short, it's easily understood. So if you came up here like this and you did that, it would be understood. If you made it super long where it was like something like this and you did that, it'd still be understood. All right, so that's ka. Now we're going to move on to ki. Now if you take a look here at ki and you look at sa, there's only a 1-line difference between the two.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll come over here and we will do ki next. So you're going to draw your 2 lines. You're going to bring 1 line down at an angle and then flip it back up like this, and then you're going to bring another one down right below it. Now, another way in another font that you can draw this, let me erase these real quick here, is you draw the 2 lines here, is to draw it like that. Only thing is that like this one takes a lot of work, And if you are just learning how to draw characters and whatnot, it can be very difficult to try and get that right. So,
Yeah, it gets really close to the key symbols.
right. So if you just do this, it's totally okay. And if I'm not mistaken, the textbook draws them that way, so it's a good way to learn how to use them. Oh, and for those of you that are listening in, if you jump into our Discord here, in the reference material section, you can pick up look at the textbook that I am using here, and let me see where that is. Oh, here it is. So this is the textbook that we're using. It's the Genki textbook. It has the materials, so you're going to be able to see exactly what we're going to be studying there. There's also a
Alright, that
workbook in
picture
there,
went through, by the
and
way.
if you want help with the workbook, or you would like questions or have questions about the workbook, you can just message me, and I'll see if I can get to you to help you out with it. See here? No, your stuff looks really good there, Lavitz.
But those ahs are terrible. You can show it to the stream if you want.
No. I mean, like, for someone that's like in the learning process of like drawing out the characters and whatnot, yeah, no, it looks great. I'm not gonna lie, you draw better than some of my students. So next we're going to work on, after key, we have ku, and ku is very simple. It is literally just a what is it? Is a greater than sign? It's quite literally a greater than sign. That's all it is. So it's just like that.
Yeah, more of a curviness to it than a sharp edge, right? Oh no, you do a sharp edge, huh?
You can do yeah.
It's just quite oblique.
Yeah. The thing is that like your greater than sign is usually a little bit
Longer, bigger.
yeah. The what do I want to say? The ku is more
acute.
obtuse. Yeah. And the
Yep.
and the greater than sign is what is it? Acute.
What did you call me? No.
I called you acute. All right, so the next one is going to be K. So K, we're going to start here on the left side. We're going to come down, and we're going to flick up. And you want to make sure that you get a good curve on that. So you don't want a straight line like this. What you want is a slight curve in it with a hook. Like that. There you go. And then for K, we are going to make sure that we make a line here. And then when you come down, you just make it follow all the way through. Like that.
Oh, towards it. I just messed up all my Ks.
Yep, just like that. So a good rule to follow with this is you want to make sure that when you're drawing these and you're getting the angle with these, the best way to do it is to make sure that these and these are at the same height, and the distance between here and here with the curve is at the same with the distance between here and here with the curve. If that makes sense.
Yeah, almost doing like a yin-yang symbol with it.
Almost. So I'll try and do this a little bit better here. Like that, so, and then you have your line. Like that. So you try and get them to be the exact same length. Like this, and you want them about the same height. But this one is K.
Akasatanai. Oh man, I cannot remember that one. Tahaya. Nope, don't got it.
All right, so the next one we're going to do is ko. And ko is a lot like E, but it's a little different. So.
Rotated and inverted.
Exactly. Except for, so it comes across the top here with a little hook. and then
Yeah, it looks inverted, but when you're like writing it, it feels a lot different because of stroke order. Yeah.
right. So that would be your ko there, like that. So you come across the top, just like that. And that would be
Now,
your
do you always
ko.
want that bottom part a lot smaller, or if it's about the same length, is it like improper or wrong?
It's you can have the top smaller. I always made this mistake of making the top bigger than it should have been.
Okay, because I'm always hitting about the same length, just doing it.
Yep. Just as long as you make sure that you get this line over the top here with the hook, and then another line that comes out.
Right.
You just want to make sure that you get this and that. All right, so let's move on to the next one here. So we've done ko.
Saw.
We're going to work on sa next, which is basically ki with one line in the center.
Yeah.
So if you can do ki, you can do sa. Just like that. And just like with ki, you can actually take and make a loop here just like that as well. It's a different font, but for the uses of the textbook, we're going to be doing the one where there's the space in between them. Just like that. Hey, Des, did you ever try calligraphy? I have not tried calligraphy. And if I try really hard, my letters look good, but most of the time I don't try very hard. So like for me, if I was making this saw like this, it would look something like this. That's what it would look like.
Yeah.
If I was drawing something like that, it would look something like that.
I just make tiny tails on everything I do.
So we've done saw. She is just, it looks like a bent fish hook. Or a J. What is it? Inverted J. So the whole thing is that you don't want it to come up. You just want it to come down like that. So there's a little bit of a motion up, but it isn't like a massive. So you're not doing like this, that.
And yeah, use more of a curve, not a sharp edge with it.
Right. Like that. And that's she. All right, we got another fun loop-de-loop. This one here is Sue. So with Sue, you make a line across. And then when you come down to about right here, and you make a loop. And then it comes off just like that. And that's Sue.
Okay. So when you go through the circle, follow back into itself.
Yep. This one here is a little bit more difficult to master to like get it perfect.
Yeah, normally you'll like overshoot the circle.
Yep.
It feels like until you get used to it.
Yep.
Yeah, that one sucks.
Like to get it perfect, you want to get the circle like completely in line with it.
Yeah, that last one you did is more how most of mine look, just going at it.
Yeah. Like
But
a lot of people have a problem with it. They do something like this. Or
Yeah,
they do that.
sometimes I'll get those. Yeah.
But that is your Sue. And let's check this out here. Next we have say. So say is going to be a line here, crossed. And just like this. So this part right here, you have a little hook that's flipped up in hiragana for that. So make sure that you get that little hook in there as well.
don't know if it's because I'm a lefty, but I find my hooks aren't very prevalent.
Mm-hmm.
I have to remember to put them there.
So
And they both have a hook or no? No, they don't.
they don't. Just the one down here at the bottom.
The big one has a hook. Okay.
Yep. So that's say. So next we're going to work on is so, and this one is just like it looks like a bunch of squiggly lines. And basically you just don't take your hand off the paper. There's no lifting up your hand at all. So you just do like this. So you make a Z and then a C. So you make a Z like this here, and then this becomes a C. And that's your so.
Just don't use this.
So Z, C. Z, C.
You put a little flair on that Z. No,
I did.
no, actually don't. Yeah. Keep it
It's more like
simple.
this. It's supposed to look more like this.
It's supposed to be a little Z at the angle, and then like cut off the C before you finish the last part of it.
Yep.
Feel like I'm speaking gibberish. Jeez.
Do you teach numbers yet? We haven't taught numbers yet. That's actually lesson 2. And here's the funny thing. If you look at the textbook, lesson 1 and lesson 2 give you all the hints in the Romaji, where it's like the alphabet. And then starting lesson 3, there's no more alphabet. You just have to you have to know the
Read it.
you have to be able to read it in hiragana and katakana. So we did so here. Next we're going to do ta. Oh, and here's another thing I forgot to tell you. So over here on ka, this ka section and sa section,
Mm-hmm.
there's what is called is what was the name that was used? I'm trying to remember in I have it here. Hold on just a second. It's in the self-study sections. Diacritics, that's what they're called.
What does that mean?
So a diacritic basically means it's the for this here is it's the exact same letter. So you have ka, like this.
Oh, okay. We're talking about like the hyphens and the circles,
Yeah.
right?
So
Yeah.
when you put 2 little marks above it, it becomes ga. So it goes from being the voiceless sound to the voiced sound. So from ka to ga. And that's for that whole line. That whole line does it that way. And then it's the same with sa. So we did sa here. So
So what,
sa
ja?
no, sa is the voiceless sound, and here is za. Za
See,
is
so it's right.
yep. So this would be zazi zuze zo. And then the other one was gagi guge go. And but for this one here, or the za ji. So she.
Zaji, yeah.
So no G as in like
G.
like the what is it like drawing a G like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that same sound for G is she with 2 little marks above it. That is G. So you need to be careful that you watch for these little marks at the very top, because the little marks at the very top are the diacritics that will tell you
Right.
whether it's going to be she or G, or sa or za, or ka or ga.
Right. I think if you open up the entire alphabet you had earlier, it shows all the different ones, because I know there's also what?
If you go to the Discord, Discord channel in the self-study section, it'll show you the different ones that are in there. I posted it. I posted it earlier.
Gotcha.
So if you in self-study right there, you'll be able to see it. So this is just something to keep in mind so that you know for later on. So next we're going to work on ta here. So we'll come back over here. And ta is you make a T. But it's going to be, what is it, a more top-sided T. And then you're just going to make one loop and another loop just like that. So make a T here on the side and then make a loop just like that. Now, because of diacritics, if we put the two little marks here at the very top, it becomes da. And then you have da, z, do, or what is it, da, g, what is it, zu, de, do. This one is like the absolute weirdest one.
Wait, why is it G?
So it's a special kind of G that does not, or what is it? There's, here, hold on just a second. Double check this real quick, because yeah, there is a G for this here, but there's only the best way I can describe it is like there's only like very few words in the Japanese language that ever use it.
Gotcha. Because if I look at it with pronunciation, it's G, G, D,
Yeah.
G, or something
So I need to change that in there because the one above it, the one that's in orange, is the better one to use because it actually has more of the phonetic sounding for it, and it's using the Hepburn style for hiragana and katakana, which is the same style the textbook uses. I grabbed the hiragana one and didn't look at it close enough.
Gotcha.
And that's my.
I'm looking at it and it's going G and G spelled the exact same way on those.
Right.
And they're Jews as well. Weird.
Right. So so the funny thing with this one here is that it is da, ji, ju, ze, zo, or de, do.
De, do, yeah.
Yeah, de, do for that. So it's
Is there an easy way to do a pronunciation difference between the two or no?
So the best way,
or is it not worth? Yeah.
For between G and G.
Mm-hmm.
So, the one that looks like the chi, which is up next, I'll show it to you here in just a second. So we're gonna do chi, which is a backwards sa, and this one you have to do the loop like that. Okay, so we have the chi here like this. So the two things that we're talking about here is G and G. So I know they sound the same, but they're a little bit different. So G is not something you can like drag out.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that has a like a stop to it. So it's G, G, G like that. The other one here is a G.
Mm-hmm.
You can drag the sound out, sound out longer.
That's so weird.
It is weird.
Well, it's especially weird because I know that like there's in the alphabet there's a thing used to shorten letters anyways or pronunciations anyways, but this one has a built-in version of it basically, right?
Right. So here's chi and then ji. Excuse me. So the next one we're going to do after this one is tsu, and tsu is basically a long line with a curve hook like this. Now, the best thing to remember with this one here is do not try to confuse it with the u. You need to make that line much longer. So I'll show you a difference here. So if I make an u here like this, you want to make sure that this one comes out. You have a long line that comes across here like this for that tsu sound, the TSU.
Mm-hmm.
Because this one here is that TSU sound. It's like taking the word its and taking the I sound out of it and leaving the ts sound for tsu. So let me erase this here. So you make a line and you hook it just like that. Alright. So we did chi and tsu, and then te is very easy because we basically did it over here in so. So that mark right here like this is basically the same thing you're going to draw for te right there. Nope. Let me make sure. Like that. And for the diacritic, you add the little mark at the very top and it becomes day. And te in Japanese is basically a hand. And that it literally hand is te in Japanese.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, okay.
There was a
it
gag
talking
there.
about
Got it.
literally, or it like how the shape of it.
Oh no. This is te in Japanese, like an actual hand.
Okay.
So like if someone's telling you to please wash your hand, they'd say te o arate kudasai. Okay, and we'll move.
Oh, my brain went silly. Now, what
What's
if they
that?
were telling you just to wash their hands, but they didn't want to be polite about it? And I'm just like, what nonsense am I talking about? That's not a thing. uh,
So next we have do, which is basically you can have a line straight down, or you can have a line at like an angle like that. I normally do straight down, like that. And that's for toe.
is that? Oh yeah.
It's like a Y with a curve. And when you put the diacritic on top, it becomes do. So it goes from toe to do.
Good. Good.
Okay. And because the next line, nani nune no doesn't have a voice or doesn't have a voiceless sound, so it doesn't get a diacritic. So from the k sound to the g sound, that's for the kakikukeko. The s sound to the z sound is for sashi suse sol. And then the t sound to the d sound is the diacritic for the tachitsu teto. So because nani nune no does not have a voiceless sound, there's no diacritic assigned to it. But this one's going to be fun. This na here.
See,
So-
did I guess right?
What was that?
No, I went ahead on it and just started writing it. Is it? Well, you go ahead and do it. I'm not gonna ask.
I think that's right. Yeah. No, I did that wrong. That's my bad. Yeah, I did that wrong. I looped it wrong. It's supposed to be... What am I doing wrong? Yeah. That's it. There we go. Like, I'm consciously thinking about writing it, and it's causing me to brain fart.
Right. So you do cross, then the line, yeah.
Yep.
And
So you do this at an angle, and you want to make sure that this part is at an angle. You don't want it straight up and down. So if you're doing if you're doing them like this, like this, that's it looks strange, but people would understand what you were trying to say. So you come in at an angle, you do an angle, and then do na that way. Okay, so that is na. And ni here, when we did K, which I will erase these real quick here so you can see it. When we did K over here, these ones are very similar to one another. Let me try this again real quick. So K and ni. So you come down, you make that hook, but instead of making these lines here like this here, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to basically make this part here from ta and bring it over there.
It's like K and ko almost mixed. Not quite, though.
Kind of. But it's
without that hook on the top.
Yeah, it's more in line with this part of ta.
Yeah.
Right there. So when you do this one here, you come down at a hook, and then you're going to do a line up and a line down, just like that. So you're going to come down with the hook, line up, line down. And remember that this one does not have a diacritic. So give them a good draw here. All right. Next we're going to work on here is going to be new. And new is a fun one because, well, there's May. May looks like new. So, but they're not in the same group type. So this one here is going to feel probably a little strange. You come down with a hook. Then this one comes up usually a little higher. It comes around and again. Just like that.
No, I almost always finish this off with like a 2 at the end, which gets pretty close. Like how you would write it too.
Yep. So this is the way you want to write this one here. So you come down with a line, and then this one, which is usually a little higher, comes up and then hooks here. New is also one that is very rare. It's not super rare, but you don't see it very often. All right. I'm nice. Are you doing okay?
Drawing it like 8 times.
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Fantastic.
So I find for this one and in some of the loopy, well, not the loop-de-loop ones, but like suit, I find I'm quite vertically squashed rather than, I don't know, just that seems my default rather than opening it up a little bit more, I suppose.
Okay. So then that's new. So what is it? Next week we'll do the one that has May in it. So you'll be able to see how they're like very similar to one another. So next one we are going to look at here is nay. So if I remember correctly, yeah. Okay.
How's that one start? I gotta watch you do this.
So we start at the line, and then
And
it's
it's lined down, yeah.
like this, and then it's like that. Yeah, I didn't do it fully correctly, but basically you draw a line, and then oh, that's day, not nay. There's nay. So, do you remember doing this one here, or this one like that? It's kind of like that one. So you draw a line, and then it's here, like that for nay. There we go. That's a good one. So it's a Z with a little curve and a tail. Just like that. All right.
That one feels good to do for some reason. Rambling on to myself, don't worry about it.
Oh, no problem. No problem.
I'm like, what's the psychiatric thing here for me? Is it just one I'm just naturally better at, or just one I had to practice more?
All right. And for all of you people that have seen Samurai Champloo, the next one is the only character that Mugen knows, which is no. That is the only character he knows. All right. And this one here is basically an E, an inverted E that's upside down.
Right.
Or at an angle.
I take a sharper turn when I go to start the loop. Is it best to like just go with a fluid motion on it?
It's you can go with a fluid motion. Like if you look here like that, comes in at an angle. I tend to make mine straight out of habit.
Well, yours is very curvy right there. Yeah, like no sharp edge on it.
Yeah. So that's how you would make no. All right, so we have finished up these characters here. I've gone a little over time, and I apologize for that. But what I'll talk to you next here is that these were the sections that we were doing here. We have some good news and some bad news. The good news is I absolutely hate assigning homework. Homework is almost completely counterproductive to whatever you're learning. Anybody that tells you otherwise either likes homework or they're a teacher that feels that you need to perform in front of them for them to fully grasp whether or not you understand the material, which is not how teachers should be teaching classes, in my personal opinion. Anyway, homework really doesn't help all that much when it comes to language learning. So actually being immersed, involved, and having, participating in the language is the best way to actually learn. So with that said, there is a workbook if you would like to work on stuff in the workbook, and I highly recommend it so you can learn how to draw characters, so you can learn how to write and read at the same time. I don't consider it 100% necessary, but if you brought it to me, I'd look at it and I'd definitely tell you whether you're doing good, you're doing bad, what you need to work on, and whatnot. I'd definitely help you with it. So the good news is that I don't give a lot of homework. Bad news is, quite literally, there is no other way to learn hiragana and katakana without self-study. We would probably be here for a good 3-4 months just doing hiragana and katakana if we did it in a way in which I didn't assign hiragana and katakana to you. And even then, it's very difficult. It's even more difficult because, like I was saying before, once we get to unit or lesson 3, they're going to stop using the Romaji or like the alphabet letters to help you with the pronunciation.
Stop using the English alphabet to give you the pronunciation.
The training wheels are getting tore off your bike, basically.
Right.
So this is something to keep in mind as we move along. So I'm going to keep this video so that you can come back and reference it and exactly everything that we did. So you can, if you are late or whatnot, you can catch up. Or if you'd like to review or whatnot, you can go back and review the video. So I'm going to keep it up on YouTube because I think Twitch doesn't allow us to keep videos longer than 2 weeks. So you'll be able to check it out on my YouTube. If you want any resource materials or anything like that, come join us in Discord, and I'll have materials for you to work with there, as well as you can get a copy of the textbook to see exactly where we are in the textbook as well. What is good news, everybody? Homework is pointless and bad. Bad news, everybody. I can't teach you everything you need to know in an hour, so you're going to have to do some shit in your own time. But I'm not going to assign you homework. Exactly. So don't think of this as me assigning you homework. Think of this as stuff you need to know before your training wheels get ripped off. Anywho, I think this is the last bit with this here. Yeah, it's the last item I had on this. So we're going to call it a day today, and I will see you guys later. So have a good day, and we will see you next week on Friday for the next class, where we're going to finish up with the hiragana, and we're going to do a few new words and a few new phrases. So until then, I will see you all later. Take care. Bye-bye.